Good morning, y'all. Today is July 8th, Farmers Market Day. It got delayed by an hour and a half because we were having some storms come through this morning. It's just a light rain at this point, so we'll see how it goes. I don't anticipate it to be a very busy market, but at least there's something going on. For being a rainy start, it was actually a really nice market today. So card reader definitely came in handy, got it working. A lot of people were using it, so glad to get that going. Brought the perfect amount of eggs, just a little bit of honey left, so good day. It's kind of clouding up a little bit, like we might get another rain shower, which I wouldn't be complaining. Could definitely use the rain. So I put a lot of honey wax related things out. Oh my gosh, look how much rain we got. That's crazy. Oh, there's a bee that's still alive in there. You got lucky. But this had a little bit of honey scrap left over in it, so I left it for the bees to clean up. Might still be a little residue, but with the rainwater, I don't know how tasty it'll be for them. Alright, all unloaded from the farmer's market. I left my extractor out here in the rain. Actually looks like the bees did a pretty good job of cleaning it up before it got all rained in, so that's good. So looking at this hive, cracked the cover, looked at the top box, mainly was looking at the drone comb because that was at least drawn out, meaning that there were, cells of wax where the queen could go lay eggs, but she hasn't made her way up there because she's not a great queen. She's been hanging out in the bottom box doing a little bit of work. The bees are actually putting nectar into that drone comb, and it looks like they're just going to use it for honey, so we'll see what happens. At least they're staying busy. They're just not growing that much yet. Well, yeah, I got chores done. I've been out just doing stuff for several hours out here, chore-wise, and taking a break, and was working on the YouTube video for this week. And the fridge has been making some noise lately, like the freezer part especially, and it just stopped, so it might have just went out on me. It's a bummer because I was looking at fridges just, I don't know, sometime last week. I think it was July 5th, because there's a pretty good sale going on, but I didn't quite have time to get in there and get one, so I'm gonna leave that fridge closed for a while. I have, I think, only 3 dozen eggs in there, so it's not that bad. Don't really have any food in there. Have some drone comb that I have to get out and get in the hives today so it doesn't get gross, but other than that, at least it's not a lot in there. The fridge actually just kicked back on, so at least it's still running. It just does not sound good. Today is July 10th. Gonna have a beautiful sunset lined up. Just sitting out here washing eggs. It's just a little bucket of water here. Put about 6 eggs in at a time, wipe them off with a towel, and then into the carton they go. And it is just perfect evening out. Gotta do it outside. So running around today, I did pick up a light for the garage door back here that'll go over it. So I'm excited to get that up because it is pitch black out here without any exterior lighting yet. So get that on in the next few days. Just did a little bit of running around. Also got some wood for the 4th chicken coop. So that project will start very soon because I'd love to get all the chickens out here so I'm not running back and forth between, all these different properties and have them all in one spot. Just make it a lot easier. Howdy y'all, today is July 10th. Out here moving the chicken coops real quick. And also, that refrigerator of mine is making a bunch of noise. It did finally go out on me, so I ordered a new one. It says it'll be here by the 27th. We'll see. I don't know if I can pull this one-handed. We'll find out. That's kind of awkward. We'll put you guys down. So the pearl whites, I usually get a little over a dozen from them a day. Today I only got 3 eggs, and I think the evidence is written all over their white feathers. They got a lot of yellow yolk on them, so they were pretty bad, and we're starting to bust some eggs on me. I don't think I have an egg eating problem. I think that was just a fluke or something. That was the first time that's happened, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. But they're just about done. It's so nice having the hose out there. Just able to clean things easy, fill the water up easy. I love that. The fridge should be here hopefully next week. The fridge is the only part that's out. The freezer works great. So 50% working, but it doesn't really help when I've got to keep eggs cool. And the chicken net is all moved. You can definitely tell where the chickens have been. A lot of good fertilizer they're putting down. Getting eggs in return. A lot of good greens that they can eat coming up ahead. Working on the mailbox, getting the post built, just about there. It feels so good to be getting this done. It's just one of those projects that's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I'm ready to start tackling some of those. So awesome to get the mailbox done. Good morning, y'all. Today is July 12th. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the extractor. The bees don't seem too interested in it anymore. They pretty much cleaned it all out anyway, so wash it out and get it cleaned and put up. So today I would like to work on building another chicken coop, but I gotta clean this trailer off because it's the only flat spot that I have to work with. Looks like there's a cat walking around on my stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this off, and then at least I got a little bit of shade for now, and then I'll be able to get the base of the next chicken coop done. So here's a rough drawing of what I'm doing on the chicken coops. They're about 6 foot by 10 foot, and then these front and back boards, I like setting them inside so that way the long ones are out, so that way when you screw it in, or nail it in my case, you got more meat holding this board on there. Plus when you pull it, I attach it through those side ones. That way you're pulling on the board and not just a nail. If you were to put the front boards, you know, like this, then you're stuck nailing them like this, and when you pull, you're gonna pull it out a lot easier. So if you set that board back, it works a lot better. So I've got a little stock of 2x4s here, a couple 10s, gonna grab those, and plenty of 8s. Walk into my car to get the nail gun and check this thing out. Unfortunately he's smashed, but what the heck is he? He's pretty good size. June bug, dung beetle, don't know. Cool looking though. So the base is done. I put 2 nails with the nail gun into each side here. And then I went around with a square, made sure it was squared up. And now I'm gonna do the exact same thing one more time. Well, y'all, I messed up, and instead of grabbing an 8-foot board and cutting it down to 6 foot, I grabbed a 10-foot board and cut it down to 8 foot, which is not what I wanted. So I only had 4 10-foot boards. You need 4 to build the coop, so I gotta go run and get another board real quick. Not a completely wasted trip because I'm gonna return this. Light was way too small. Also, the numbers I put on my mailbox melted right off in the heat, so I'm gonna get something a little better. And the second rectangle is done and nailed together. Now these extra 2-foot sections from cutting the 8s down to 6s, they're roughly 24 inches. I have 1 extra one because I goofed up with that one 10-footer. So you should have 4 left over. And those 4 are gonna go in each of the corners, and then you're gonna nail one on the bottom and then lift the second rectangle you made and nail that. So that way, can't really see it from here, but that's how you get that base lifted up. Here's a pro tip. When you're nailing these onto the bottom frame, lift them up a few inches. On the first chicken coop, we made it flush with the bottom, and then quickly realized once you start pulling it, this just catches extra grass, and it's just that much more you gotta pull. So we sawzalled it off at an angle. It's just easier if you go ahead and lift it up from the start. That way it's less contact with the ground. And the top is now nailed on, and this base is coming together really well. So next I've got to cut some braces in, release supports for that edge there. So I'm just gonna take a couple pieces. It's 18 inches between the bottom board and the top board there. So I'm gonna cut 2 in and put them there, and then another 2, put them on this side. If you're doing this alone, trying to put this top part on can be kind of difficult. So just have a couple extra pieces of wood laying around. That's what those were for. That way you can prop it up and get one side nailed. The support pieces are all in. So next I'm going to cut the door out. So I'm just going to take a sawzall and chop that off. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day on this coop. I have a lot of other things I want to get done today, but really happy with the start that I have on it. All right, let's get these chickens done. So these chickens here are called speckled Sussex. They're not quite laying yet. They're getting close. It'll be this fall when they start laying, so another couple months. But these guys will lay brown eggs. These chickens here are called Americanas. So if you see green eggs in your carton, that is from them. And these chickens are pearl whites, and they lay the white eggs. The rooster in here is 50% Marin, and then the other 50% just an Easter egger. Don't know what he is exactly. Howdy y'all, today is July 13th and I'm going to do some grass cutting. Is cut. Now just doing a little bit of watering. We were supposed to get rain yesterday, but that didn't happen. So it looks like Saturday is going to be the next best bet. Of course on the farmer's market day, but oh well, we do need the rain. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and give everything a little drink of water. So here's a little bit of what I picked so far. I still have a ton of peppers, but I kind of want to keep them on the vine for as long as possible. Those tomatoes are looking pretty ripe, so I'm going to go ahead and get them. The cherries are looking pretty good. Maybe 3 of them have splits, so not terrible. I anticipate that quite a few of these are going to make it to the farmer's market. Howdy y'all, today is July 14th. My morning started off really productive. I finished all the honey labeling, so that's completely done for the moment. Maybe 3 minutes after I finished that, my sunburn on my back when I was doing the chicken coop a couple days ago, building it, was really starting to itch. Within 5 minutes I was on the ground. If y'all have never had a hell's itch, oh my gosh, it's absolutely miserable. So I can still feel it, but it's tolerable. The only thing keeping me upright is this at the moment. I can still feel it, but I got to get to the feed mill. They close at 5 and I think it's 3 something right now. So I wanted to get these chickens done, hit the feed mill, and then go out to the larger property. There are so many beautiful flowers in here, and I never see a honeybee on one. I'll see butterflies, bumblebees, you know, anything except a honeybee. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know what the bees are getting into, but they've got plenty of flowers. Maybe I just catch them at off times. Maybe it's too hot for them. There's a bumblebee right there. Not one honeybee. There's another bumblebee. So weird. Lots of bumblebees. I've even seen a lot of hummingbirds out here just on them. There's some Japanese beetles in there. But yeah, not one honeybee do I see. Yet I've got, you know, I can see them buzzing around in the air up there. So I don't know where they're going, but they're finding something good. Now, I was originally planning to get into the beehive today, but with this sunburn, if this hydrocortisone cream ever decides to not work, I am in trouble because literally just cannot function. It's just an itch that you can't scratch, and it's 10 times worse than an itch, 100 times worse than an itch. It's horrible. So if I were to be in there and that would just strike me, I'd be done. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, so hopefully that will hold off for the farmer's market and the hive inspection. Made it to the feed mill in the nick of time. They closed about 20 minutes by the time I got there, so right there at the end. I got 6 bags of feed that'll hold me over for a little while. Got to move the chickens net today. Got some split tomatoes I'm going to feed them, and then the chickens will be done. I finally have one candy cane pepper that is actually turning into a candy cane. That's awesome. I am no longer convinced that that topical cream soothes an itch. I just went through my second round of Hell's Itch. It's also known as suicide itch. I can see why. Just rolling around on the floor, absolute agony, nothing you can do for about 45 minutes. Totally miserable. Anyways, doing the chickens now. Tomorrow, it looks pretty rainy, stormy. I don't know what's gonna happen with the farmer's market. Everything in the fridge, I think I had 12 dozen, but that fridge isn't working. It was been sitting between 50 and 68. So not really cold enough to keep eggs fresh. So 12 dozen in there are just going to become compost at this point. And then I'll wash a few more tonight. And who knows what's going to happen with the farmer's market tomorrow, if it'll happen or not. Also, I had a couple tomatoes. I did eat those. I'm sorry, guys. But the market might be canceled anyway, so it won't matter. We'll see. But tomatoes next week is the plan. See if it won't rain and we'll actually have a nice sunshiny day. But anyway, gonna go ahead and finish the chickens up.